I have to say it was a surprise to me. I never expected that I would become a priest, and I had to throw up everything that I had been taught. And the hardest thing, believe it or not, was trying on a clerical collar and looking at myself in the mirror, and I totally freaked. It's like, I don't want to be my father. Seriously.
I think she's, as a person, I would describe Mother Vicki as warm, caring, thoughtful.
I think Mother Victoria is perfectly accepting in every way. In recent sermons, she was talking about all creatures great and small, and that if we are to love the Son of the Father, then we need to love all people also. And to me, that's what sums her up in a nutshell.
Now, Mother Vicki has been wonderful since she's been here. She has approached all different kinds of people. She has married a few as they call them, transgender people. She's very, she's like a very understanding. You know, the first thing she'll come in and say, "How do you feel today? How are you doing?" You know, I'm thinking to myself, how does she know I don't feel so good today? But she knows. But she's very supportive of people, and I think people really like her a lot.
I think that she focuses on meeting the spiritual needs of her community, and that community can be the faith community, the religious community that comes together, or the community at large.
My name is Victoria Sirota. I'm priest in charge at St. John's Episcopal Church in Getty Square in Yonkers, New York. Well, I feel very comfortable here. And the reason being, the church that I was in Baltimore was an urban mission church located in a former automotive parts store. And this was my first church as a vicar, as an Episcopal priest. And it was in a very troubled and drug-infested neighborhood, quite honestly. People have said, don't call it that, but it was. It was really dangerous. And the children of the neighborhood knew who the drug dealers were, knew who to stay away from, but they would tell me when someone had been murdered the night before, and it wouldn't necessarily end up in the Baltimore Sun. One of the things about being at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, I loved it. I loved the congregation I was working with, and I was there for 9 years. So after 9 years, I basically said to the Diocese of New York, how can you use me? Where would be a good place for me to use really what I had learned in Baltimore about being a loving community in the midst of a difficult and challenging place. And Yonkers is wonderful, exciting, thrilling, challenging, difficult, and crazy.
There's many things that draw me to the church. There's definitely a sense of commitment, my family history, and my upbringing. My roots are in the Episcopal Church, so that's a deep connection for me. So that will be one element. Another element being a lesbian, and knowing that this is a faith community that is accepting of people who are in the LGBTQ community, is affirming.
Well, I've lived my life as an out gay person since high school. I felt that in Westchester there would come a time where gay people were more accepted, and we haven't grown that much. And at the time when I joined, it was before Mother Victoria arrived here. Father John Hamilton was here, and he served as an out gay priest. He was perfectly welcoming. That was a very important milestone to me.
The first same-sex marriage that I blessed was in a hotel, and it was between someone who was at a Methodist church, and the Methodist church wouldn't do it, and he was marrying a dear man who was from a South American country. And they were just such a wonderful couple. And I was asked to do the blessing. We weren't marrying them, but I was blessing the relationship because the Methodist minister couldn't do it. And this organist also worked at a synagogue, and the rabbi couldn't do it, but they were both in attendance. And so when we got to the part where I was going to lay my hands on them and bless them, I decided, I said, you know, when I'm at my little urban mission church and we're blessing somebody, I invite other people to lay hands on them. Would anyone else also like to lay hands on? So the congregation came up, as well as the Methodist minister and the Jewish rabbi, and we all laid hands on them and blessed them together. And that felt so holy and right. And there was such love in that room that if I had any question about that, and that was 25 years ago, if I had any question about that, it was gone with that experience.
Will I have arrived in time to share?
In every generation, you have to redefine what the connection is with the community and how can we best help what's going on here so that it is the best that it can be. And I think that's a good question right now. With the changing neighborhood, with 4,000 rental units coming in, with brand new buildings, and the desire to catch the millennials or those who are even younger than that from downtown businesses who could commute here easily because of Metro North. But what does that mean in terms of who we are here? It's actually why I'm here. I love the city. I feel called to try to share the gifts of Jesus' love, actually, for all people that he came across with this community. And I love the fact that St. John's has that proud history. So how it works into the future, I don't know yet, but we're still working on that.